our very first Amazing All-Star is going to be Dina Matasik. Hey, friend, how are you?
Hi.
So good to see you again. It's been a
Hi,
bit.
yes, thank you.
Well, tell everyone a real quick synopsis of where you came in to my world, like who you were before you met me, what you wanted out of life. Where were you that before you met me?
So I was running an in-home daycare with my son and a couple of my friends' kids, and it I was just like, well, I guess I'm doing daycare now because the job I had previous, I was supposed to be there and things went sideways, and so I was unemployed and pregnant. So I was like, well, obviously the only option is running a daycare. So that's what ended up happening. And it was fine when I just had the three babies, but then I had to add in more to actually make money. And then I was working from like 7:30 to 5:30 every single day. And then when the kids would go home, I was like, I still have a kid. I
Right?
can't be the mom I want to be. Like, this is too much.
Yeah.
So I had been toying with the idea because I did see your ads, and I was toying with the idea, and I was like, I mean, that sounds fantastic, but I'm not a teacher. Like, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't even know what I'm doing with daycare. I'm just making sure the kids don't die. So, I mean, that's kind of where I was at. And so like it took me a good 6 months, I think actually even like fully click on the link and buy the book.
Right.
And then I was talking to my friend and I was like, I don't know. Do you think I can do this? Like, it's kind of, I don't know. So I was like, well, if I don't do this, then I have to get a different job and put my kid in daycare. And that's not an option. So I was like, well, I guess this is happening. So I took the plunge and I told my daycare families, which was really hard and really sad, but they understood because they could tell I was not how I was when I started. Like I was like getting very drained. My friend called me daycare Dina, which is not a good thing to be.
Yeah.
Um, so yeah, then I started my preschool October of 2020. So mid-pandemic, perfect time to start an in-person preschool. Um, but I mean, I think I started with like 7 kids, which is pretty good for a pandemic. Um, and now I have like 24. So just like literally like just over a year later, which is awesome. And it's so much better. I'm only teaching 3 classes. Um, and I'm planning to teach even more next year. So yeah, it's been super awesome. And I finally decided to buy the hub and I missed it the last time. And I was like, what was I thinking? So I finally just did it this time. So,
That's awesome. So you just barely joined the hub in the last
mhm.
like week or so after we opened up the doors again.
Yep.
And you went through our brand new hub training, which has helped you to make it even faster and easier, but you didn't even know what you were missing out on earlier. You
Hmm.
just knew you needed the hub. So you went through the training. What did you think?
Um, I I thought I was missing a giant chunk of it because it was too easy. I was like, what else do I need to do? Is this like everything? And like it was legit like that easy. And then of course I was messing around and stuff and getting myself in trouble. But so I need to just like wait for the training. But no, it was like it it literally couldn't have been easier.
That's
Unless like
awesome.
you did it for me. So
Well, we did try. We did try to get
yes,
as much,
you
get done
pretty
as
much
for
did.
you. Okay, so do you have like a bunch of website experience already? Are you super techy? You've built websites in the past?
I worked at a different company and I learned the website just like WordPress because I was the manager at a dog company, and so I was kind of in there a little bit and I kind of had some of that. And then when I started the daycare, I did a WordPress website. So then I was even more comfortable. And then I swapped it over and did my preschool one. And then I was like pretty comfortable. Um, and so I was trying to set things up to automate, but I still had so much stuff I had to do manually, like sending those emails, texting people, like sending them files and all of that stuff. So that's why I didn't join the hub last time, because I was like, well, it's already automated, but really it's not. I have things in place, but I have to do all of them. And yes,
Yep.
that's easy when I have 20 kids, but I'm hoping to have 50 or 60 or even more, and that is not an option. That's way too much.
Oh, absolutely. Just think every little task you do right now, every
Hmm.
child you have come into your program will continue to magnify that, fivefold, tenfold until
Yeah.
it's not manageable. And then you're just buried in your business. So
Yep.
you've created a word, you helped out with WordPress with a previous business. You built a
Hmm.
WordPress from scratch for your daycare, converted it into for your preschool. Um, Now we're almost your fourth iteration here of coming in and doing a website. Even with tech knowledge, how easy was this compared to the past ones you've set up?
Um, I I feel like almost like a 10-year-old could probably, I mean, could definitely follow those steps and be like, yeah, this is what we're doing. And like, I mean, it literally could not have been easier. Like, and granted, I do have like tech experience, but not with this format, and definitely not with all of the domain and DNS and all of that. But like, that is so foreign to me. So, but
Totally.
I mean, I did it, and it's done, and so yeah.
It's funny that you said a 10-year-old could do it because I want to show you something. So my daughter today, she's 11. She said she saw me. I've been working in the hub as well, right? Building your training. And she said to me, "Hey, I want to do that. I want to do what you're doing." And I'm like, "Okay." So I gave her an account, right? Cloned
Hmm.
it over, and I gave her my training. I said, "Here's what everyone else is going through. There's the video, and here's
Yeah,
the hub." And let me just show you what she came up with. Here we go. Puppy
that's so
Pal
cute.
Preschool. She built
That's
this,
so
right?
cute.
Like she got her logo, she created the logo herself, she did her color scheme, she chose orange and navy for the colors. She changed out this little graphic here to have puppies behind it cuz she wants to have puppies, visit her local
Hmm.
preschool someday when she grows up. But
Yep.
that's the truth, right? I mean, it truly is that simple that even a
Hmm.
10-year-old could do it, right?
Yeah.
That's awesome. I love that. I'm so glad you brought that up. That was perfect timing. Well, that's amazing. So, we're super excited for you. Congrats for converting your daycare into a preschool from 7 students last year to now 24 students, and you're going to
Hmm.
continue to grow it. We're so proud of you. We can't wait to
Thank,
see all the exciting things that you do.
thank you. Thank you so much.
You're awesome. All right, we'll see you later, friend.
Okay.
We're going to bring on one of our brand new all-stars. Now, she came out of the woodworks to me and I was like, "Wait a second. Your website's done. You barely just joined All Stars. Let's welcome her to the group. Everybody, please welcome in the comments. Ashay, how are you, friend?
Hi, can you hear me?
Sure can. You're perfect.
Okay, I had such trouble getting on. It was just ridiculous. So now I'm just so relaxed because now I'm here.
Well, good. You sound beautiful. You look beautiful. So you're
Thank
a
you.
brand new all-star. Could you tell us before you saw me, where were you at in life? What were you hoping for? What were you frustrated with?
Frustrated with working, definitely looking for a way out, especially with the pandemic. I'm a nurse by trade, and so actually I was on hiatus from working. And so that's where, and then my daughter actually, she was like, "Yeah, I'm going to do this preschool, this, that, and the other thing." And she gave me the link to your book, and that's what started. And she's like still doing her thing, but I'm like, I read the book, and then I joined the preschool system. Yes. And then I missed the October, November because I was so like, I don't know if I could do this. And then when it came up in January, and I'm still kind of hanging out in not working world, I was like, I'm not gonna let it pass me by. And so that's kind of where I was, where you found me.
That's awesome. So, as a nurse, our hearts go out to you. Thank you so much for everything that you've done during this pandemic. Thank you.
You're welcome.
But not knowing, like, what do you do with the rest of your life, right? And is this really the route you want to take? So, you came into the world, you got the book. That's awesome. And so, jumped into All Stars because you missed the October deadline. So, thankfully, you snuck in as an early bird. Now, you came in here. I gotta be honest though, you didn't know much about us, right? You just kind of
No.
got this link, kind of got some information. Did you really believe like we were legit? Did you really believe that you could actually create your website in a week, do all these things?
I didn't think it was as easy because I was on the live on the 10th
Yeah.
and you were going through it, and I was like, it can't be just change your name and do these things. The hardest part for me was the picture.
Oh,
That was the hardest part. But and the changing the date on when you were going to open. But no, I didn't think, no, I'm just me. I kind of cut from the, I just shoot straight from the hip. And no, I didn't think it was going to be so easy. So what actually happened to me when I was making the website is that I didn't hit the save button.
oh no.
And so it literally took me 15 to 20 minutes to finish.
Yeah.
But then when I looked to do preview, it was all the old stuff.
Oh,
And I was like, oh my gosh. So I'm actually very good at doing it again. So hit the
right.
save button, people. But yeah, it was like after that, it took me 15 minutes the second time.
Yeah.
And then, like I said, the hardest part was me figuring out how to do the, changing that first picture you see.
Yep.
But everything else it was just very easy if you follow the directions. Just follow directions and just don't give up. Even though you get frustrated, just follow the directions.
Yeah. Bravo. 15 to 20 minutes. That's a record breaker for sure. That's awesome. And so where are you hoping to go with this? So are you doing a local or online preschool?
I'm doing online for starters, and then my goal is to set up my ultimate goal, my bucket list goal is to actually open my own school.
Love that.
So online first, and then I want to do a kindergarten. I'm not sure if it's going to be online or local yet, or where it's going to be local. So that's my goal.
Nice. Oh, I'm so excited. And I love this too, because as people are still trying to figure out like when their local can open, they can open up their online and get it up and running and kind of get in the flow of teaching and such, and then open up that local. That's kind of a lot of what people do is they'll open the online first while they are waiting 8 months for their local to open. So they'll do online and then they'll open the local, and sometimes they'll run both. Sometimes they'll close down online and such. And did you say kindergarten as well?
Yes. I
Nice.
love children, and it was so funny. The catalyst to all this is what I had. My grandson asked me what my superpower was, and I told him I thought about it. I'm like, dang, what's my superpower? And I love to teach. And so for me, it just was like a no brainer. With sorry, it was a no brainer for me to kind of just trust the system. I kept hearing you, if you follow the steps, don't skip the steps. Just trust it and go for what I love to do and I want to do with children. I love the fact that the preschool system, you get to affect children really early on and can set the foundation for phenomenal changes for them in how they view education, because education can change everything.
Absolutely. I love that. So if you were telling somebody who is on the fence about, the hub, what would you say to them?
Don't be me. Don't hesitate. If you get a chance, if you're blessed enough to get in, get the book, and you're open to go in to get into the hub, the Preschool All Stars or the hub, go for it. It's just so easy. It'll make everything so easy. And the other thing is that when I didn't get in for the first time, I actually started to make my own website.
Oh,
yeah. And
well,
so
tell
when
us
I
about
had the
that
website
process.
before and then the difference of the website after and the member area and setting it all up, it was just night and day different on how to set it up, just all done for you. So go for it. You can do it. Joy sets it all up for you guys.
I love that. So when you were previously setting up a website, did that take 15 to 20 minutes?
Oh, no. No, I was still working on it when preschool, when the All Stars opened up. I was when the early birds opened, I was still working on it. I finally got to the point where I was like, just keep it simple. Just don't try to make it complicated as you see. Just keep it simple. Just get it up 2 pages. And then so when it opened up, it was like a no-brainer to go into Preschool All Stars and a no-brainer to go into Hub. It was just more or less me standing in the way of myself with, oh, you can do this. You can just follow the steps. Just follow the steps, Shay. Just follow the steps. So
That's so true. I think that's the point. Like, we can get in our own way. So I love that you brought that up. And I'm so proud of you for jumping right in as soon as you got that email. Good job. And for taking action. More importantly, for taking action and realizing that you might not know all the steps, but just take one step at a time, right?
Exactly. You got this. We got this, Stars. We got it.
Yes, that's beautiful. Well, we're so glad you're here, and we'll be definitely looking out for exciting news from you as well. We'll talk to you
All right.
soon.
Thank you.
We have another friend coming on in just a second. Now, the reason why I brought her on is because she is also a brand new all-star, and she went through and did the founding family script. Now, as you know, that script can work gangbusters sometimes, and she's proof of that. So let's bring her on. Welcome, Tony. How are you?
Hi, Joy. How are you?
It's so good to see you.
You too. It's only been a week. I saw you
know.
last Monday. Stop.
That's
My
wild.
granddaughter
So
is
you
trying
just-
to get in on the picture.
You're fine. No, you're fine. We are kid friendly here. So you just joined All Stars like last week. You posted the script. What day did you post your script?
January the 12th. So I think we went live on Monday and I posted it. Oh, you see you're peeking. Move, girl. And I posted it on Wednesday. I started that challenge, I think, on Sunday because you said get in there and start doing that so I could get my t-shirt.
Right.
So I did the steps I needed to do to get the t-shirt by that Monday. And then I just had to keep going through and pressing and follow the process. That's
Absolutely.
the process. So,
yes.
Yeah.
So let's bring us back. Well, let's give a little bit about your background first. So who were you before you came into my world? What were you doing? What were your frustrations? What were you hoping for?
Well, I am a retired school teacher. Believe it or not, I retired in 2020 with the idea of being a nanny for the grandkids or whatever. And so I really wanted to be able to do something where I could be mobile because I have grandchildren in Ohio and some in Maryland, and I needed to be able to be mobile and go back and forth, but I still want to be able to, make money and generate an income. And I love kids. I love teaching. I taught for over 20 years in the public school system. So that's it. And of course, before that, I was a chemist with the government. So that now it's time to do the things I want to do. I want to travel, want to spend time with the family, all the things I missed out on. Now, I think I could do that doing this.
Isn't that beautiful? Like, it is never too late to go live your dreams, right?
Right. I'm so excited.
That's
so excited.
awesome.
And
so
excited
when did
you
you
help me make it happen?
Yes. When did you hear about me?
In November, I think somehow or another it came across Facebook maybe, or I saw it. So I got your book. I think maybe it was October, the end of October, whatever. I had your book. I got that book. And then I read your book. But by the time I got the book and read the book, the All Stars thing had already closed.
Mm-hmm.
But I followed the directions. I followed the directions. So I got on the early bird waiting list. And I know you would say, you never know. So when that popped up, I'm like, and I almost missed it because with the holidays and everything going on, I wasn't really online. And I think I went online that day or whatever, and the early birds was going to close. And I'm like, oh no. So I got to sign up tonight. So I signed up like on the 8th, I think it was the last day, I think, for the early birds. I signed up and then I went live with you on the 11th.
Yes.
And I posted my script on I went live with you, whatever that Monday was. And then I posted my script on that Wednesday. Mm-hmm. And afraid the whole time. And I know God does not give us a spirit of fear, but I was just nervous. And I said, okay, I'm trusting this process. I'm praying it's going to work. All I can do, but I didn't have anything to lose. So just do it. Just jump in, just dive in and do it and trust the process. I wasn't going to lose anything by doing it. And I did it. And it worked. And I'm happy.
So did you feel that anxiety inside when you were like clicking the post button, the publish button?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And the whole time I then got nervous, because I'm following the steps. And I used to tell my students, reading is fundamental. So I'm reading the thing and I had to read it a couple of times and I check it and look, go back. I was like, okay. It says do this. When he said change your picture, I changed the picture, but I did it the night before. And then I'm like, I started getting all these comments and I'm like, well, maybe I should have waited and did that the next day.
Sure.
And then it was time to post the script and I posted it. And then I was like, oh no, I missed it.
You did great. Obviously you did great. So let's talk about that. So you posted it and then what happened?
It was started generating interest actually pretty quickly. I want to say probably because I posted that script at about 4:45 in the evening because I saw the window and I'm like, okay, I got to get it done before this time. So I posted about 4:45, but I'm pretty sure I had the first sign up. Did I have my first? I had my first sign up that day,
Nice.
that evening.
Yeah.
And I was laughing because it said when you got your first sign up to go on and do a live on All Stars. I said, but I didn't. I was going to say, okay, I don't have time for this. I'm too busy babysitting this post because I took that to heart. The babysit.
Right.
My mother would say, "What are you doing?" I'm babysitting this post. That's what
Yes. And you did it right, because people that leave, we miss out on those comments, likes, and shares, and there's a narrow window of opportunity. So that's why we babysit the post and we keep commenting and liking and stuff. Okay, so you got your first sign up. Now you had jobs. You were a chemist in the government. You were a school teacher before. Is this your first real opportunity to create income on your own?
I've done some other things. I've have a business or things on the side, but this is still really different. And it's really exciting, but also really scary. But it also, I had to push past the fear. I don't care what you do in terms of setting up a business. I realized that there's always that fear or that apprehension that keeps you from moving forward. But what I liked about this was the challenge made me press forward and made it some kind of accountability there, because normally in the businesses before, it kind of, it's nobody back there saying, okay, but by me getting that challenge and feeling like I have to do this every day, do something every day, kind of made me accountable. I felt like there was some accountability there and forced me to keep doing something every day.
I love
of course,
that.
after I paid that money for the get into the sign up in the All Stars, my daughter was like, you better make it worth it.
This better work, right?
So you better make it worth it. Yep. Don't waste your money. So
I love that. That's so true, because when we pay attention. We're not just on the sidelines anymore. That money is out of our pocket. And as the way I say, I want to get that money back in my pocket as fast as possible. So I got to work to get it.
Exactly. So at least I got that back, but I need to do more than that. It's about, impacting lives and doing something different. And it's exciting. I have, so far I have 8 signups. I had somebody else talk to me or hit me up earlier this evening. Actually, it was my former principal, high school principal, and she's a superintendent now. And she was like, I want a spot if you have a spot for my granddaughter. So I'll have another.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So
I just happen to have another spot right here.
Yeah, and your advice on, look, just create another section. And I had already done that, but I hadn't really went live. I just really was trying to figure out, how am I going to word this on the post so that people won't say, oh, well, it's all filled up. So doing what you said, I said, that works. I can do that.
That's awesome.
Even after that, you figure, I think when you told me that, then 2 more people signed up, I think. So yeah, made it 8 or something like that. Yeah.
Amazing.
And now on 9.
That's awesome.
And I'm hoping it was
I think it was like in 4 days or so, you got 6 or 7 signups. How much total have you made in less than a week since you posted the script with this Founding Family post? How much have you made?
Let me see it. Last count is 7. I said it was at 429, I think it was. And then I added another sign up since then. So whatever that is. $480. That's $480.
480-ish or so. I love this. There's so much money flowing. You're like, I don't even know. It's like more. There's another one.
I'm not really, messing with it or touching it, but the fact that knowing that it, it's in me or whatever it is there. I said, that's good, because after I finished talking to you, I'm going online to do some more work, since I was traveling yesterday and today. I really haven't been online or doing things really or following those steps. So now I need to go do my hub.
It's right there, and I'm excited for you to do it. So you're going to do your online preschool. When do you start?
March 1st.
March 1st. And now
Tuesdays and Thursdays.
Tuesday, Thursday. Okay, beautiful. Well, we're so excited to continue seeing everything you do, and especially to see your hub website coming up soon. Yeah. So good luck with that. And thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Joy.
And then let's bring on our beautiful next all-star. I am so excited to interview her. She posted in the group earlier this week and mentioned that it was her 1-year birthday with her preschool. And I can't wait to interview her. She's been on our podcast, but she has some updates. So let's go ahead and welcome her. Good evening, Cordelia. How are you?
Hi, Joy. I lost my voice.
I think I saw you posting on that too, that you lost your voice or something, but are you still able to do your online classes?
Well, right now I pause the online classes because my local preschool just like went from 0 to like full.
I love that.
And right now I'm trying to figure things out, like organizing my brain.
Yes, I
How I'm
get you.
gonna go
Okay, well,
about
let's
it.
back up a step. So let's go back a year ago. Bring us back up to speed, like where you were before you met me, what your life was like, what you were struggling with, what you wanted.
So before I met you, Joy, I was in the middle of starting a daycare because that's all I knew about in my area. I had no idea that I could start a preschool, although I have a degree in child development. Um, but it's just one of those things where it's like, can you really do it? You don't even have the confidence to even search about it. But I knew that teaching is something that I wanted to do, and I knew that I did not want to leave my kids anywhere, pay for daycare, while I go teach. It just didn't make sense to me. The money, I'm like, I'm gonna be working and giving it to someone else to take care of my kids. No, thank you. And so I started the process of the daycare, but like I just kept telling myself that I know I needed like a curriculum because I'm like, even if I'm gonna teach, if I'm gonna do a daycare, I want to be able to teach the kids. Like I don't want to, like, it's so like um I don't know, for me, just watching kids all day is chaotic for me, like I like to do
Yeah.
things and move around. And so I'm like, it's much more crazier for me to sit there and watch them just like playing with toy all day. I might as well do something with them. And so my husband kept telling me, like, you are ready to go. You have your license and you're in the process of your license. What are you looking for? I'm like, I want a curriculum and I want a good curriculum. And
Yeah.
so one time I was just like, I'm like, let me go on Facebook and see what's going on, if I can find something from on there. And so I was just scrolling through my feeds, and there you were. And with your face so like excited, so much excitement, and like you just like, I just trusted you right away. Like you're just so trustworthy, like right away. I was like, oh my goodness, like it looks like this lady know what she's doing, and she seems so excited. And why not? Let me order this book. It's free. I have paid for so many other things. I can go and get a, ice cream cone. Why can't I just pay for this book and go ahead and order the
For
book?
the cost of a coffee or an ice cream, right?
Yes. I'm like, either way, I'm learning something. So I ordered a book, and the moment I ordered that book, it was like an open door. Like I just went, like I just clicked on everything Joy said. Like, get this, get that, yes. Everything was just like, yes. I'm like, I trust you, and I'm just gonna follow what you're saying. And so that was the start of my journey. And at the time I started my actually online preschool because I did not really have that confidence to start the local preschool. And it was just like I was scared, or just did not have that boost of confidence. And so I'm like, you know what, I can there's another way I can start like the local. And that's when the pandemic hit. And I was just like, okay, I don't want to get into this with, I don't know where this is going, people coming into my homes. And so that was a perfect option for me at the time. And I did start with about 14 kids, which was great. It was keeping my income going while, waiting to start my local preschool. And so I did that. But then like, it just like, after everything, like during the summertime, some kids, went to Head Start and some dropped out. So I was left with only about 3 students. And so it was kind of hard for me to like get students. And and I was just like, so like, it was a hard time. And in my area, it was hard for me to get kids because it's just, there's not a lot of diversity in my area. And so that was one of my roadblock, or I was letting that be my roadblock.
I remember that. Let's pause really quick.
Yes.
You came to the workshop, Breakdown to Break Free. I remember having this conversation with you, and you mentioned, there's not a lot of diversity here. Like, how am I going to be able to create a preschool? Why would people come to me? And we talked through that. So I can't wait to see how you broke free from that. So,
oh my goodness, that workshop, I will advise anybody to attend. If I could have gone in person, it would have been even better. But we did it virtually, which was great. It just opened a whole new world for me, because that workshop takes you back in time where all of your problems lied, and creating that timeline brought so much emotion to me. I'm like, there are certain things I thought I was done with, and it just like opened me up, and let me be free and be me.
Yeah.
And so like it was just like after the workshop, everything changed. I was like, why am I hiding who I am? Why am I shying away my gift? And so like it just opened me up and gave me so much confidence. I tell you, like, believe in yourself. That's all you need. You don't need any pay advertisement. You don't need like any Facebook ads. You just need to believe in yourself. And when you gain that confidence in yourself, nothing can stop you. Like, I was able to just tap into people. Like, I don't even do any ads anymore. I got people contacting me because I was able to, take myself out there and, show people, like, you have to let people know that you are confident in yourself for them to believe in you. So the problem is within, it's not without. And so when I realized that, I was like, wow, so like I've been holding myself back. It's not people, it's not because there's no diversity here. It's because I haven't, I'm giving myself that roadblock. I'm not walking with that confidence. Nobody wants to take that child to a place where, the teacher don't look confident in herself, And so I was just able to I was like, after that workshop, I just went on Facebook and started I even got in contact with like the local preschool moms, and they even invited me to like a little gathering to like introduce my preschool and all of that. I got into like groups on Facebook, and so that's where now I am like getting all of my clients like off of like the moms groups and all of that. And so like it's just been like so like surreal. Like I'm just like is this really me? Like I am doing this right now. Like I never would have thought like I would be teaching kids like in my home, and parents will like love having their kids come to me. And that was like one of my fear too when we did that workshop, because I'm like, I know I can take care of my kids, but why am I so scared to like take care of other people's kids? And for me it was just so like personal, because I'm like, I know how I love my babies, and I was just afraid that like people wouldn't trust me with their kids, and so breaking free from that also helped me open up and just give me that go ahead that it was okay, I am me, and once I give it my 100% and people see that, that's all they need. They don't need anything else. It doesn't matter what color I am, and so I even like had one of the parent that came in she wanted to do like a little introduction before her son came in, because he was in with a nanny, and she's like, I'm afraid that he's gonna be, it's a whole different setting for him. Can we just come and do a little meet and greet, or like just watch you teach and while I sit with him? And so I was like, ooh, this is exciting, because she get to see my circle time. Let me tell you, Joy, while I was waiting for people to come in and stuff, I was still in the background, just working on myself, and preparing for when that day come that I'm teaching, and how I want it to be fun for kids, and I don't want them to be bored. And so we do like a whole lot. Like I wrote out my circle time and just how I wanted it to go in order. And so like the kids are never ever bored. Like sometimes they'll be like crying for circle time. Like, when is circle time? We want
I
circle
love
time.
that.
You know, because like I have them like interact while we're doing circle time. We do a lot of singing, and so like it's just so much fun. And after that, mom sat there and watched. She was like, I want to sign up like right away. She was like, how do I sign up? I was like, whoo. Thank goodness. So
Yeah.
it's just been so amazing. Like I even have a wait list right now.
You have a wait list. Oh, that's
Yeah.
awesome. So that's phenomenal. Let's break it down a little bit. You started your online preschool, was it January? Is that right?
Yeah, it was January.
Okay. Started your online preschool a year ago in January with 14 students enrolled, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah. Now, was that right out of the gate, or did it take some time to get those 14 students?
Well, I started with I started with about 3 students. Yeah, I started with 3. So the first student actually I started with was my old boss granddaughter. Yeah. And that was just so amazing. Like you just never know who, and that's why that funding family script is gold, because you just never know who you'll tap into. Like I even tapped into like my childhood friends that I have been seeing for years. Like I was teaching their kids, and you know, like it's just like that funding family script is everything. Like if you are scared, I was so scared to post it. Let me tell you, I am an introvert. I think I'm both. Yeah. So like I had a lot of fear and anxiety, and for some reason, like I get anxiety over like when I just get anxious about it. And so like I was very scared to post that, but like posting it actually helped me boost a lot of my confidence. And that's where all these like all of the confidence things started, because like after posting that script, I was just like, oh, I can do this. Wow. You know, nothing happened to me. I'm still alive. And I know it's so scary, but like, you know, like you just have to like go for it. And just like in this business, like you have to trust yourself. You know, you just have to trust yourself and go with your gut instinct. Like, what do you want to do? You know, and you have to feel it. Like this is what I want to do. This is what's going to work. And if something is not working, pull back and strategize, like, you know, rearrange things. Like it's okay to be not okay, you know. Go back in time, take pause for a second, think about how you want to go about doing things. But if this is what you really want to do, never give up on your dreams, because it took me a long way to get to where I am right now. Like I struggle with like even during the summertime, like I had a lemonade stand inviting my neighbors, and even got in trouble with one of my neighbors. I think like my cart that I dropped off at the house, she told me to put it in her mailbox, you know, because she didn't want me to come inside. Yeah. And I put it in the mailbox. Then I get weeks later, I get like this letter, why are you posting in people's mailbox?
Don't touch their mailbox.
I was like, that made me cry, actually.
Oh,
you told me to do it.
Yeah.
But, you know, those are just some of the moments and stuff. Like, just never give up on what you truly, really want to do. If you desire it, go for it. You know, just always take a step back and, you know, organize, re-strategize how you want to go about it. That's the only way. Sometimes we are doing things and we think that there's one way to this road, but like there's multiple ways, you know. So just keep trying until you get to that point where you feel like you got this, you know. So
I don't know that you ever feel like you've got this, but you feel like you're getting this. You're one step closer than you were last time.
What's the question, Joy?
No. The point was, you said then you'll feel like you've got this.
Yeah.
But I'm saying I don't know that we ever feel like we've got it, but we feel like we're getting there.
Oh, trust me, right? Yeah. at this point, I'm still like, right now, I'm trying to figure out how to do online and local, because now I have people contacting me. I actually have right now my husband helping me locally. His job is pretty flexible, so I have him helping me until I can get a teacher here. And it's so
Gotcha.
hard trying to find, the right person. I am watching the videos, Joy, to figure out how to hire someone. But I have a lot of projects too as well that I want to do. I'm also working on like a school back home. I'm originally from Liberia, and so I'm actually working on a school back there. So I'm gonna need someone to help me out here while we try to figure all of those things out.
That's awesome. So from January, 3 students originally turned into 14 online, had a
Mm-hmm.
difficult time in the summer. Students are dropping. Felt
Yeah.
like your online preschool is probably going away. You started
Mm-hmm.
local preschool. How many students did you start with, and how many do you have now?
I started with 3 students locally.
Yeah.
Well, gradually came to that 3
Right.
students, because
Yeah.
I started with 0 for a really long time.
Amazing.
And so in October, we started with 1, and then November 2, and then I think it was like and then we had a third one join us. And then coming back in this year, like now, we came back with a full house. And I was so scared again, like, how am I gonna handle all of them? Like,
How many students is that?
right now we have 14.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, to go from 1, so starting the fall in September, not even having any, and saying,
Mhm.
"Is this even gonna work? What am I doing here?" But you
Right.
you stayed the course. You tried some different stuff. October, you got 1. You're
Mhm.
turning the key. November, you got 2, then a
Yeah.
third. You started January, you're 6 months into the school year. Now you're finally at a full house with 14 and a wait list.
Yes.
Cordelia, you're amazing. Thank you so much for being here and giving everybody so much motivation and inspiration to stay the course, right?
Yes, definitely.
You're awesome. All right,
Keep
girl. Well, we
going.
can't wait to
Keep
see what
going.
else happens with you. We're so proud of you.
Thank you, Joy. Thank you for
All right,
having
Fred.
me. Good luck,
See you soon.
everyone.